Hi, I'm Susan Evans from susanevans.org, and today I'm going to show you how to make a model of Noah's Ark, a cross-section of the bottom floor of Noah's Ark. If you take a look here, I have put together some cardboard boxes, and what you need to do is, to make this easier actually, you know those boxes of paper for your computer? What you can do is those lids, you can tape them together and cut like this part off the middle section, okay? And then just do a whole bunch of them in a row, and it would be easier than what I did, which is grabbing some cardboard from my garage and cutting it to this size. And you can, you know, tape little sections of this on it or whatever to make it this length. Now, let's say that this is 1 foot across. If this is 1 foot wide, you will want it 6 feet long, okay? The ark is 50 cubits wide and 300 cubits long, which means that a cubit, by the way, is between the tip of your fingers to your elbow, and so that's more than a foot. And so 300 cubits long is the size of a football field, so imagine how enormous that is. And then 50 feet across, so there's plenty of space for different pens and different sections to put animals in this lower section of the ark. Okay, so what we did here is I taped together each of these sections with packing tape to make it nice and strong. And then I put masking tape on top of it so that the paint will adhere to it, because when I'm painting this, I don't want it to not stick to the plastic. Since this is paper, it will stick just fine. So what we've done is we have painted this whole thing, and I used the cheapest paint possible, which I think is Primer, and it was about $10 for a huge can of it. So that's what we did. And then we put some popsicle sticks to make partitions, and then put 2 toy animals into each partition. So you can already see what Noah's Ark kind of looked like from the bottom deck. And if you want to make it more elaborate, you can build fences. What you do is you get popsicle sticks, and you put 2 long popsicle sticks like this, okay? And then you get some school glue, and you make 1, 2, 3 pieces of glue like that. And then you have a half a popsicle stick that you put like this, making sure the rounded part is on the top. You can use diagonal cutters to cut the popsicle stick in half like this, okay? But it flies everywhere, so you could just score it, and then you kind of bend it so that it snaps. You can also do that with a butcher knife on a cutting board, and that way it scores it so that when you snap it, it snaps in a clean line. And so that is how we did the fences. As you can see, the fences are standing up, stabbed into little slits on the bottom, and it looks really, really good, okay? So this is how we're doing it. We are getting fences, right? Fence pieces, and we eyeball it here, okay? Then we get a pencil, and I go 1, 2, 3, okay? So I have 3 pencil marks there, and then I grab the razor blade, and I rock it back and forth. I don't just cut it, I rock it back and forth to make it nice and big for the fence. And then you just stab it in like that. So it works really, really well. Okay, so we go here. Once again, you want to get a pencil, mark it with a pencil, and then stab, stab, stab. Okay, now one thing that you want to keep in mind is that if children have made these, okay, these bottom things will probably be uneven. Whereas if you make them, like for a demonstration for your kids, if you are presenting this to your children or a Sunday school class or something, if you are putting it together, try to make sure these bottom three are even, okay, so are level, so it's easier to stab them in. But if kids are making them, they're going to be all over the place, and that's fine. You'll just have to stab it lower into it so that one isn't sticking up. But it really doesn't matter. As long as there's one that's stuck in there, it'll still stay up, okay? So just go ahead and continue that all the way down both rows, all the way down, and you'll see how good it looks in just a minute. And here we have a finished model of Noah's Ark, a cutaway of the bottom deck of the Ark. Of course, you need to keep in mind that there were 3 levels or 3 decks to the ark, and Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives were the only people who were on that ark who were saved from the devastation of the worldwide flood, because the intent of men's hearts was evil continually. So nobody wanted a relationship with God. 0, except for Noah and his family. So that's pretty sad that in barely about 1,000 years after creation that you have such evil happening in the world. So that was very sad. Now, one fun thing that you can do with kids is you can add these animals. You can have them go into the ark 2x2s and have them line up 2x2s all the way in, and then have your animals walking along down the aisles and going into their respective pens. You can do that, and that's fun to do as well. You can ask children, why do you need 2 of each animal? And of course, that would be so that they can have babies and they can procreate and fill the earth after the flood. And also, during the time of Noah, you have all of the continents were probably connected. Scholars think that this is true because it says that the foundations of the deep were cracked open, and that waters came up from under the ground as well as from rain. And so it really shook the earth and destroyed the entire earth by water. And so this is our model of Noah's Ark. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this, you will love the Bible section of my unit study Treasure Vault, available at susanevans.org. And you would also like the 2-hour video that's called Using Simple Costumes and Props to Teach the Bible, which is actually free if you join the vault. So take a look at that at my website, susanevans.org. Thanks for watching.